one part of this I thought was really interesting is you worked with Steve Albini, which, as far as I know, he doesn't really do a lot of metal, and doesn't work with a lot of, like, I guess you guys are like a younger band by his standards. What was it like working with him?
Dude, it was amazing. Yeah, well, I was kind of looking into it, and I think the closest thing he's done, which isn't close at all, but maybe on the surface, is like doom metal type shit.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? And I think he did Neurosis, which is pretty awesome. He
I can see
definitely
that.
did
Yeah.
some Neurosis. Um, it was unbelievably awesome. It was like the perfect thing for this record. It's like, how do we get somebody who can capture this in like a way that we can't quite see, but is still pretty much just going to let us do exactly what we want to do, how we want to do it. And so like we were the organizers, we were the producers. We told him we're doing the X, Y, Z in a row this way. And he just made it sound great and helped us get the best version of that. And he was so overjoyed because he felt like, or it seemed like he was, you have to ask him, but he seemed so happy because we were so prepared. So it was like the meeting of the perfect groups. Like he doesn't want to, even to like a bit of a neurotic point, he's playing operation. He doesn't want to buzz. He doesn't want to do anything that steps over the line of being a technician.
Right.
Nothing creative.
Right. He's just here to capture what you do, right? That's my understanding of how he works.
It is, but at the same time, he is creative with sound, and he's
Okay.
almost has this veil up. I noticed of like not like he wants to do it in a certain way, but it was like a beautiful thing, man. Like again, as I get older, it's like it's crazy not to learn under the learning tree of somebody like that while I
Sure.
have this amazing life opportunity. And to me, it's like I'm looking at this big stew, and it's like let's throw Billy Corgan's genius in. Let's throw Steve Albini's genius in. As long as it's somebody that's not detrimental to the process, which we've run into those too,
Yeah.
and it's somebody that's willing to play the role they need to play. I mean, dude, it was a dream. It was great. And then we had a great couple weeks down there and just working with them guys and just being in a fresh environment. And you know, one thing I noticed was like we worked with Kurt Ballou very early. And
Yeah.
I've noticed how much Kurt Ballou, it seems like, has modeled himself off of Steve Albini's thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when I was with Steve Albini, I was like, dude, you remind me of my boy Kurt Ballou. Like, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I got things all fucking mixed up. But Kurt Ballou's similar in that way. I almost feel like if we work with him again, we'd be able to have a similar process. But the point we worked with him, we weren't mature enough yet to be prepared enough and to have a process ready to go and to
I mean, you
to
guys were
know
like
what we
19
wanted
or
to do.
20 then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
17
kids.
and 18 and yeah, all
Yeah.
them, all those, the baby ones, you know?
Well, it's interesting, you mentioned bringing in these people like Steve and Billy, and it's like when you see a band like Code Orange who's sort of like at this level, and like it's always a warning sign to me. We're like, oh, we brought in this big name rock producer from the generation before us. I'm always like, oh God, this is gonna be terrible, because those
And I
people,
feel you. I feel
it's
you.
like they don't get it, they don't understand the genre, and it's like it always ends up bad. um and it didn't, it worked out great in this case. What do you think is the key to bringing in people, who don't necessarily, I mean, they're not, I don't want to say they don't get your genre, but you know what I mean? How do you navigate that of bringing in those sort of like older brains without it sounding weird and bad?
I think the way you navigate it, I've learned, and it took me a long time to learn this, and I think we learned it on this one. For me personally, I think I tried to fight against it, but I think we have to have the control.
Yeah.
We have to have the technical skills, which now we do. You know, Shade is really, really proficient with Pro Tools. Reba's proficient with Pro Tools.
Yeah.
We are pretty proficient in all things technological at this point. There's much we've learned and are learning about, especially we weren't proficient in recording live drums and things like that. Hence why we went this route.
Yeah.
But in putting it together, we put it all together now. So what we do is we go, we show them the part they need to see or the part they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
We don't take all the ingredients and go, here you go, like we did before. Let's figure this out together. It's like, you don't got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is do X, Y, Z. And then if there's anything else you want to have, we're totally down for that, like open for that. But I'm not putting what I've done in the past is I put this big fucking backpack on other people's back.
Right, right,
And
right.
now it's like with my guys, one, it's my guys are so talented. It's almost like I'm so grateful to have them because I'm not technically proficient in that regard. I'm really not, but I do have a brain and a that can keep these things together and organize these things and chart them out and think of the whole picture. And then everyone gets in on their small picture. And then it's my job. And on this record, Shade's job, it was R2's job to take everyone's picture and put it all together because we're the only ones that can do that. And instead of trying to get other people to do it and and being so frustrated, like it ain't their fault that they can't fucking do it. It's like they
Right,
don't know what I
right,
want to do. And
right.
other bands have a totally different experience. Like the producer makes what they do because they're willing to let go. I just realized I'm not willing to
But
let go.
it
I
never
can't let
works
go.
out. It never works out. Like if it's like, let's say you go to the guy who produced, I don't know, just to pull it out of my ass, Stone Temple Pilots, who I don't even know who that is. And you're like, make us like Stone Temple Pilots, and they'll do it. But that's bad because you're not Stone Temple Pilots and they can't make you that. And it's not the producer's fault. It's your fault for thinking that you can go to somebody and they'll sprinkle their magic pixie dust on you and make you into something you're not.
It's like life is happenstance, I've noticed, because you'll see like because I'm an addict to this shit. So I'll look up like how is Pantera's process working with Terry Date or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn. And their shit seemed very natural, very like we just play. They're just very good technically, and he made the sound. It never was really like that for us. For us, it had to be more finely tuned, probably because we were trying to put a lot of things together that shouldn't fit necessarily, right? So everyone's process is different. I mean, we've had amazing collaborators. Like we've worked with Will Yip, who he is really amazing at being in the grind with you. He'll work a million hours. He'll try to get there with you every inch. He won't get annoyed. That's why we can work with him because other people we worked with, even Kurt at times, who's a fucking genius, and a lot of this is definitely on my end of just needing to mature, but he would just be like, dude, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Enough of this shit.